What's going on, Flea Nation? This is Brendan from NY Fly Zone, and I'm coming back at you guys with a new Jets video. So today I wanted to talk about 5 potential breakout players on this Jets 2021 roster. So starting off at number 1, I got CJ Mosley. Now, CJ Mosley, obviously us Jets fans were disappointed in the circumstances, paying him as a high top linebacker and him missing the 2 most previous seasons. In 2019, he was out with that groin injury, season ending. And then in 2020, he opted out because of COVID, respectfully. Now, we're going to have him back. We saw how explosive he was. He had a fumble 6, a pick 6. He was getting after Josh Allen in the season opener against the Buffalo Bills. We almost won that game. And that just showed for itself how dominant a player like CJ Mosley is. Now, the linebacking position is one of the most important positions in the defensive side of the football. He's essentially the quarterback of our defense, and who else would you want aside from a CJ Mosley doing that? And I know that some may argue that he could potentially be washed up. He hasn't played in 2 years, blah, blah, blah. But I just think that Robert Saleh, the intensity that he brings, and I think that he's just going to be healthy, well-rested, and he's going to come back and have a bounce-back year. And number 2, I got Quinnen Williams on our list. Now, Quinnen Williams just is coming off of a 7-sack season. He was just ranked outside of the top 10 players, defensive linemen, ESPN, outside top 10. So for him, for his age, to be just outside top 10, I think that says a lot about his presence. I think it says a lot about his abilities on the defensive side of the ball. Now, 7 sacks. I think that speaks for itself. Now I feel like more people, he's starting to get the recognition that he deserves. But man, we just switched to a 4-3 system. We used to be 3-4, but now we are a 4-3 system. That's going to be a lot more opportunities because Quinnen Williams was double teamed. And you can argue that if he had a stronger supporting cast around him, that his sack number would be in the double digits. And 7 is quite impressive for him being young. The New York Jets drafted Quinnen Williams 3rd overall in the 2019 draft, and I think that this year we're really going to see that breakout year, because if you look at this Jets defensive line, we've surrounded him in talent. We got Sheldon Rankins, who's a big body in himself, and then we got Jonathan Franklin Myers. We got Vinny Curry, who's got that experience with the Philadelphia Eagles, and then now Carl Lawson on the edge presence. So I think that Quinnen Williams, pencil him in, breakout year. Number 3, Elijah Moore. Now, the New York Jets were absolutely ecstatic getting him in the 2nd round out of Ole Miss. This guy's a burner. His route running is it's crisp. It's elite. And I put up a video on NY Fly Zone, so if you want to see what I'm talking about, just check it out on our Instagram. And it's Elijah Moore showcasing his elite route running abilities. This man reminds me of almost like an Antonio Brown, like with how he's able to be shifty, his footwork, how he's able to cut, curve, make plays off of the run. And that's what I think is just going to be absolutely electric for this Mike LaFleur New York Jets style offense, because having a guy like Elijah Moore, someone that has hands, somebody that can make plays after contact, someone that can improvise and make these elite style runs, these route running. I think that that's just wonderful for this team. And I've been hearing nothing but great remarks coming from the Jets beat reporters, coming from all of the people that were watching, the journalists. Him in OTAs and minicamp, he was absolutely explosive. I'm hearing absolutely great things. Elijah Moore, breakout candidate. Number 4, I got Makai Becht. Makai Becht was just ranked 6th tackles in the NFL, which is absolutely absurd for him at his age. He only had 1 season, and in his 2020 rookie season, he only allowed 7 sacks and 7 penalties. That's pretty good. Left tackle, this man has a big body. We saw him dominate against some stars like Nick Bosa, and just for him to have the dominance that he had as a rookie at that age, I think that the sky's the limit for him. And now with an Elijah Vera Tucker paired next to him, a Connor McGovern as the anchor of our offensive line, and then, a Greg Van Roten and a Morgan Moses. I feel like this offensive line is just starting to really come together, and Makai Becht is just only going to trend upwards. And lastly, number 5, I have Carl Lawson, and this man had 5.5 sacks last season. His career high was 7 sacks. So he's never had that double-digit sacks. He's never done that yet, but I feel like this year is the year for him to do so with this Robert Saleh defense. And like I said, this defensive line is stacked. Like, are you kidding me? Sheldon Rankins, Jonathan Franklin Myers, Vinny Curry, Quinnen Williams, Carl Lawson. These are some bodies, some monsters on the defensive line. And Carl Lawson, I think that this is the year for him. I mean, the last time that the Jets had a legitimate edge presence was Jonathan Abraham. And now that we have Carl Lawson, it's just like, wow. I mean, this guy, you could argue that he was one of the best edge rushers on the market. The New York Jets went out there, we got him. I know that Cincinnati Bengals fans are missing him in the locker room and on Sundays. So Carl Lawson, I definitely see him maybe potentially having the 8 to 10 sack range. And there you have it. Those are my top 5 potential breakout candidates for the New York Jets. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, at NYFlyZone. Subscribe, and remember that we are dropping weekly podcasts on all podcast streaming platforms. And make sure to listen to episode 32 of our podcast. And go Jets.